Hello everyone, we should be live. It took a bit of time, but anyways, we're here. Hello and welcome everyone. So today we're going to see what we were doing yesterday. So I promised you guys I'm going to come up with something that is looking good. Okay, let me just make sure that the live stream is working. The live stream is fully working. Hello everyone, we should be live. Yeah, it's working. It took audio is working, everything's working. Let's turn it off. And let me show you something. Let me open. I just made it better. Let's have a look at the render. Let's do render viewport and look at that. We're there. We're there. I just want to make it fully. Okay. And also I have used a new software which is called Material Maker, and with that I created the pattern. Let me just load it in so we can see it, guys. Okay, let's do that. Open that. Okay, let me show you. So this is Material Maker. I believe that you see things or not. Oh, you can see. You can see right now. Let me make this fit the screen. Okay, look at that. So I made this shape within Material Maker without me using Photoshop, because Photoshop is a paid app and Material Maker is a free app, and it's amazing, and it is really amazing. You can see everything. Maybe let's do 3D viewport so we can see the material within the 3D viewport. Just loading in as an albedo map so you can see. Okay, so this is the material or the shape that we're using right now for this, so you can see it. So it's something like what we have. Okay, maybe it's a bit thicker, so let's modify it. You can just scale this one. You can scale it either inside like that and also like that. You can make it really thick. Okay, like this, and just save it. Okay. Oh, okay. Where we are? Okay, let's see. First, let's switch back to Blender, and then we need to see the material. Let's make sure just we exported this to the correct direction. $733. Okay, so let's load it in within Blender. Just select that, replace this, and yeah, we need to replace it in both of the shields. I was cleaning it up. Okay, so yeah, that looks better. 100% looks better. Tell me how it's looking. Hello, Gilo, Strinova. Hello. I tried to do this at JavaScript for one of my stream. Instead, I just made a light circles of a cool effect. Do you use a cylinder as a base? No, no, I'm not using. If you are talking about this is not a cylinder. This is a procedural thing. Okay, this is a procedural thing. Yeah, oh wait, yeah, it was procedural. I did. I just converted it to a mesh so I can unwrap it, but I could have just used the normal unwrapping in geometry nodes. So let me show you what I mean, because maybe I'm not good at explaining things. If I use like just a plane, okay, I'm going to show you to recreate this cylinder. Let's create a temporarily geometry nodes thing. Let's make it temp, so it's not thing. I use like a line, like a curved line as a base for this thing, and just converted it from a curve to mesh. Okay, like this, and use for the profile is a curved circle. Okay, and it turned out like this. Okay, so it's something like that, and you can store the UVs within this curved line and the curved circle. So you have the X and you have the Y. Okay, and you can just displace it like I did with a noise texture with set position node. Okay, set position and do a noise texture and just displace it. But unfortunately, right now it's not gonna work because we don't have vertical loop cuts, so we are going to resample the curve so we have more vertical lines, and connect the color, uncheck this normalize, and scale vector so you can scale it down so it's not that intensive. And you can just add a normal position and use add vector matte add, so you can animate it so it's going to go up instead of going down. Okay, so you need to do negative values for that, so it's going to go up. Oh, procedural, nice. Yeah, we're doing procedural stuff. Yeah, I don't like to work with normal stuff, like when you do like a cylinder. Okay, look at that. I need to just bring it to this side here. When you do like a cylinder, a normal cylinder, it's I don't like it, so you need to do manual loop cuts. If you don't like the pattern of this displacement, you need to delete this and add another thing. Okay, it's a long story, so just procedural thing. And what I mean by storing the UVs, you can just add like a store named attribute. Okay, or you can just do it like in here. There is a method where you can use this on the face corner, and you can use the UV unwrap, okay, and use this as this. Make sure it's a vector face corner. You can name it UV map, because if you just name it UV map only, it will distract the UV map that we already have. So make sure it's a different name than this UV map. And for this, you can do a sample curve, and you can connect this to the seam, so you have seams and you have things like that, and you can use this UV map. Okay, so yeah, anyways, let's delete that and go back where we were. Okay, so I pretty much done with this the shading of this. It was pretty easy, and one of the issues that I had, not an issue actually, which is these trails. Okay, yesterday I couldn't make it to work with geometry nodes with physical objects like this object, but right now I did it. Okay, I'm just going to do a breakdown, a simple breakdown to see how I did it. So I'm going to select this thing. So it's under the procedural trails GeoNode. So it's trail Trails geometry. So it's like this. It's looking like this. So each duplicate means that there is a geometry, and I made it to look like there is two geometries instead of one, because first I started with this little node group. Okay, this node group contains these two similar nodes. Okay, so let me show you. So I created this. Look at it. I created this shape, okay, using a curve line, resampling this curve line, turning it to a mesh with curve circle. You can control the resolution of it. You can control the loop cuts, and to play with the shape, I just added the spline parameter with the factor and the float curve, so I can just reshape it however I want. So I can do like, so you can see like it's I don't know. Don't ask me. You can name it like nuts, whatever. You can make it. Oh, holy! You can make it's a yeah, the things that you use in war. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. You can make like a bowling ball, what they call it, like yeah, this thing. I like it. I'll try to replicate it too. Thanks and like for the stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah, pretty much you can use whatever shape for that. I'm going to just use the regular one. So after that, I duplicated that and just move it behind, so you can see it's behind. And I made it to be taller a little bit, so you can control how tall it is with this end or the start, so you can make sure it's long or small. And after that, I just did ignore this. I will show you later, and made it like that. So it's a real geometry, and by displacing it, how I just moved it along this curve. I took a curve, okay, a simple spiral curve. Okay, this is the object info for it. And first, I did a set position because I wanted to set a position, and I want to move all the points of this geometry, okay, to that curve. First, I sampled I took actually some attributes like this minimum with the attribute statistics, and used the geometry and exported the x coordinate as an attribute, so I can use it for that. Did an absolute to invert the values, did an add and added the x itself to the modified x, and combined the original x, the original y and z with the modified x, and use it as an offset for that. And look at that. Okay, it looked like that. So it's a bit flat, but still we need to do some work for it. And I just captured the position for that, the original position, because later on we are going to modify that position. You can see in here we modified that position. How we did that, ignore this, same time and that. We use a sample curve to sample the spiral curve, okay, because we want its position. So I took the position, add to it the normal, okay, with the scale of the y, the original scale, the original position. Like I just separated the x, y, z, the coordinates, took the x, scale it for the with the normal, and add it back to the position, and also did the same thing with the tangent to take the correct rotation for that. You can see there is a slight rotation, so we need to correct the rotation with the vector math node, scaling it with the y, or the z, sorry, not the y because it's going up, and scaling it with the z and adding it back to the position, so it's going to take the position. And why I'm adding some numbers here for the offset, because by default, if I go 0, 0, 0, it will be in here where the origin of that original plane it was, because the original plane, if I go with the group group input, it's hard to explain these things. So the original plane, this is where it was. So it was right there. and the curve took that place. So I need to just offset it a little bit so it's in here. Or you can just move this, but you know, I want it to be procedural. That's why I just moved it with numbers. So like that, okay? And just did duplicate so I can create more of these, and duplicated the curve spiral, rotated it a little bit so I can have more variation on the rotation and the placement of these spirals. And look at that. We have something that is working like that. And for the animation, I forgot about the animation. I just added that to the X and use the scene time with a multiply, so I can multiply whatever with any number, so I can make it faster or slower. And with the ping pong, I made it to go till 20 frames or whatever, so, and go back again from start. Or you can go from the negative values, so it's going from -20 back to 0, and again from 0 to 20, and again doing the same the same operation again and again. So it's looping. Look at that. So it's going up, going down, so it never stop. It will just go up or down, and this is its limit. It's going to go up by 20 frames, 30 frames, 40 frames, etc, etc, etc. You can change whatever is this. And yeah, that's how to animate it. I don't know, I'm not going to make it again from scratch, because that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work, and I made a lot of these nodes. Okay, so but anyways, it worked, and I just wanted today to finish it off and create these other triangles. Okay, these other triangles. Okay, for the other triangles, I have for them something else. Okay, I'm going to create them with real geometry instead of using texture. A texture will kill my RAM. I don't have much of RAMs. Okay, so that's why I'm going to use just real geometry. But I'm not going to model things myself. I'm just going to add a plane. Okay, and I'm just going to slap on it a geometry nodes editor, and let's call it triangle. Triangle particles. Okay, so this is the triangle particles. And for a triangle, I'm going to use star. The star can make a triangle. Look at that, we have a triangle. And we need fill curve. So fill curve, so I can fill the curve, fill in the curve. It's either you can fill it with triangles or with n-gons. Okay, right now we don't care about the geometry or the topology, so n-gon is the best for this scenario, and we can leave it as this, like that. I don't care. And we can use just the transform geometry if I want to rotate it, so I can just rotate it to like 90 or -90 actually, so it's facing up, and I can scale it down, so it's going to scale from the center. Okay, that's good. And now I'm just going to Control G, so I can add it to a group, and let's call it triangle. And let's add these rotation, scale, and translation to the output, so I can edit it on the fly. Okay, so that's good. Okay, maybe let me swap this so it's like that. So that's perfect. Okay, let's select that normal plane, distribute points on faces. Okay, distribute points on faces. So these are the points, and just do a set position. Set position, and I'm going to do a simulation zone. Put that right down. Put that right down, and do a point one value, so each frame is going to move like that. And obviously we need to join geometry, so we're creating like a particles, so you can see it's like that. And each time I want with the scene time to affect the seed, and that's not, maybe multiply. I believe that there is bunch of ways to create randomness for these particles, so we're creating like that, so it's a simple simulation. And we okay, this is going infinitely. Okay, this is to infinite. We could actually cheat a little bit. I'm not going to store attributes and say, oh, the age, if the age is 100 and the age is that and that. Okay. Yeah, sound is working. Anyways, I'm not going to store the age or store something because I don't want it to be very complicated. I want it to be super simple. So let's do a delete geometry, okay, based on a position. Okay. And I want to separate XYZ and take the Z and do a mat add, and I can just specify which parts to delete and which other parts to not delete. And look at that, voila, we're done. Okay, so we have something like that finally. Okay, but we don't need that much of geometry. Obviously we need just, and also if I change this to timeline, we can see this line here. That means the bake is interrupted. We need to bake it again. Okay, that's good. Okay, I hope some people are watching right now because this is really fun to watch. And again, we're done with the simulation. I need to pick a frame. Maybe let's do 30 frames. I like 30 frames. So it's going to be looping. Maybe I need 60 frames rather than 30. Let me hide this simulation a little bit. Let me see. Let's increase this so I can see which frame is the best. Maybe 100 frames is. Let's start from 18. Okay, so it's looping. Yeah, it's looping. Okay, that's perfect. Let's go back to this. And we want the triangles, so let's do an instance on points. And let's do triangles. And voila, we're instancing triangles. We are going to make these triangles face the they're facing the camera actually. I don't need to do anything. Maybe if I scale down the, okay, go back to the first frame. Where is the plane? And voila. Okay. I need to do a transform geometry or scale element. Scale element is going to do the job for me. Scale it up a little bit, just a tiny bit. So if I see from the camera, maybe a little bit like this. Yep. Something like that. That looks amazing. And let's select the camera and make it, let's go outside a little bit. Okay, that's amazing. Select that plane again. And we need to see these triangles. So the triangles right now are too big. We need some of them to be smaller and smaller. So let's do a random value. Random value for this. And we need this size and we need this size. So they're going to be random actually. And we need to set the material for them. Set material. And we're going to make it, we're going to make it glow. Maybe glow number 2 instead of this color. This color is really intense. Oh boy, maybe Blender will crash. Okay, fine. It's not crashing. So let's take the material, create a new material, call it glow as well, glow 2 underscore 02. And I'm going to make a mesh in. Press N. I have this color harmony thing. It's going to pick this color. And voila. Let's take a look at the glow 2. Look at that. Maybe I want less of these so they're not taking the whole place. Maybe a little bit small. What are you doing? And they are too big. They're too big. Too big. Make it just like this. The others is really small. So it's something like that. Make it a bit intense. Is my, yeah, it's always, yeah, you can see it. Blender crashes. Fine. Yeah. Blender crashes a lot. So today we did a really good job at making this effect. Oh, it's really interactive. It's really interactive and it's really amazing. I like it. I like it a lot. If we just make this ground a little bit shinier, you can get the idea. Okay? Look at that. We can see this. Maybe if I made this material of the bottom wave a bit stronger in the middle and you know, you get the point. We're going just to make this with that. Oh yeah, I didn't show you how to make this ground. If you're interested, just tell me in the chat. I'll read the chat. Currently no one said anything, suggest anything. That's cool. This is basically the gradient. I want to invert this gradient, so let's take a math and let's do a multiply and multiply by -1. So we're going to get the invert of this and just make it go to the positive values instead of the negative. Oh, Blender. Am I taking that? Oh, it's working, but why it's not doing anything? Turn off the clamp. Let's use a map range. Map range. And I believe, let's do again the same value. Blender, please stop crashing. Let us work. Let us do something. Let us do whatever thing I want. Yeah. Please, Blender, please. Give me space to breathe. I believe it's crashed right now. Let me see the task manager. Really quick, Blender. Yeah, Blender crashed. Oh, Blender. Oh man. And now how to go back to where we were. Oh yeah, we're back. We're back to business. Okay. Let me turn off this compositor for now for you so you can see better. Let's invert this from 1 to 0. Okay, so you get this idea. So we're going to take this like that, and we're going to take smoother step, or maybe smoother step. Okay, and plug this into the strength. Okay, and obviously you need the strength to be a lot, so multiply with a bigger number, and you can see what it's doing. So it's stronger in the inside, and it's not really strong in the edges. And you can control that fall off within the map range, so you can see. So it's really strong out there, in there. Yep. So it's really doing what we want to do. Or you can just leave it as how it was. It was good, you know. It's not bad. I know it's not intensive, but at the same time it looks good. It looks good, then it looks good. Yep. So look at that. That's crazy. Let's turn on the compositor so we can see that. Oh. So that's really intense. Yep. That looks good. In my opinion, that looks good. From the camera view, it looks amazing. We can make it go further if we wanted. So yeah. Or that. So that or that. So you can pick whatever you want. You can also make it not that strong, yeah. So heck yeah. So anyways, now I have another project. I have another project. So let me save this. We are going to call it done. Where is the triangles? Where is the triangles? Holy, where is the triangles? Where is the triangle? Oh, the little triangles. They're reflective. Okay. Amazing. I need to do something for the triangles. I forgot about them. I need to do something. You can see they're fading away instead of just scaling down. So they're fading away a little. So I'm going to make it a little bit fade away with a transparent PSDF and make sure it's blended instead of dittered, and do a texture coordinate. Okay, and let's use the object coordinate, and let's use set separate XYZ node. So we're taking the Z, and look at that, the Z of each one of these. We want the whole object. Let's see from instance or no. So we need to realize the instances, and that will cause a little bit of a problem. So let's do realize instances. That might fix the issue. Yep, it fixed the issue. So now we can go back here. We can add a regular mat. And we can, as you can see, so we're controlling the fall off of that. Okay. And we can use a color ramp so we can invert the thing. So, flip it. Okay, pretty good. So 0 won't show, and white is going to show. So let's plug it into the factor, and look at that. They're fading. They're fading. Okay. Save. Please save, man. What are you saying? Save. So we have less viewers today. I don't know why. We have less. 1, maybe 0. We have 0. Okay. We have less. But anyways, hope you see this live stream again later on when you have time. But anyways, so we have another project. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know. So I just tapped on into Pinterest yesterday, and I saw a little cool project, which is, maybe if I'm not pinned it, oh my god, maybe I haven't pinned that thing to my Pinterest. Holy, I haven't. Ah, man, I haven't. Let's say water ball. Oh, here is it. This is not the thing I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. Let's have a look. Maybe I will get copyrighted for that. You can see this little thing, this ball. I want to make like this. So this is a water ball. I want to make like it. Something similar to it. We're going to use displacement. We're going to use shaders. We're going to export a bitmap or a height map. And with the height map, or maybe. So let's do a new project. Call it done for this project. Yeah, you're done. So I'm just going to delete everything. And let's add for this subdivision surface. Let's apply that. Alt Shift S. Oh, I don't have this thing. So let's do a cast modifier. Apply it. Apply it. And shade smooth. Okay. So let's go to the front view. Yeah, just leave it in that. Yep. Let's go back here to the live stream. Okay, so we're going to use displacement with displace modifier. I don't know how to make it, to be sure, to be clear what they say. It's either cloud or this not sort of noise. Maybe it's Voronoi. I really don't know. So intensity, it should be rotating. Okay, but first we need to do, maybe we need to use cycles, but I don't want to use cycles. I can create it in cycles. It is pretty easy to create it in cycles, but I don't want to make it in cycles. Distance to edge, distance squared. Oh, this is really cool image. This is really cool. This is really cool. I created that image when I made the parallax effect, but maybe just the actual distance. So for here, I will just change the coordinate to object coordinate, and I'm just going to add a plane axis empty and select the plane axis. So when I rotate the plane axis, you can see so like that. So I'm going to rotate it in the local z axis. So Euler. Which one is the thing that we're looking for? Yeah, this is it. So change this from the XYZ to XZY. And yeah, that's how. So we are going to do hashtag frame and divide it by 30. Maybe 24 instead of 30, 24. Let's do 12. Oh man. I'm going to just eyeball it. So it's rotating, okay? But the question here, what? I don't know. Direction, custom direction. Let's do X, Y, Z, RGB, X, Y, Z. Ah, wait. Let's go back to normal. I believe. Let's just work with that and see how it's going to look like. Okay. So I'm just going to do a bit of a shader. Okay. This is used right here. Let's use texture. Can we import a texture? Unfortunately, we can't use texture like this. So it's only in the modifier tab. Man. Oh, we have other settings. What these settings do, I don't know. Animation. So let's use an emission. Both emissions, emission and another emission, mixing them together. Let's see. We need one of them to be like that, the other one to be like that, Let's do a Voronoi. And let's use this distance. Let's use it as that. We're going to use object coordinate. And I tried it yesterday, but in cycles. So cycles is pretty easy. Pretty easy to do with vector displacement, with this displacement. But in Eevee, it's really hard. Why it's really hard? Why? Do smooth F1. So it's something like that. Fortunately, we need more details. Okay. So right now it's not rotating. It should be also rotating. Let's do texture. Oh, let's do an object also. Oh, it's doing like the counter rotation. Yeah, that's amazing. So it's working. It's rotating with the object that we have specified. That's good. But here's the issue. We don't want everything to be displaced. Okay? So we're going to displace just few areas. Maybe just the top areas, the middle ones, and the bottoms, and do vertex group. Call it this. Assign. Go out. This. And it's doing the inverted, please. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's doing that. Okay, it's pretty good. Okay. Okay, we're doing good. We can't weight paint. This is the issue. Can we weight paint? Let's create a new vertex group. Let's go to the weight painting. We need to paint through advanced front faces only. Yeah, it's drawing. No. Accumulate. It's not also doing the thing that I want. Draw, average, seamer, modes, sculpt, weight painting. Okay. Fall off, not that fall off. I wanted to paint everything. Symmetry, mirror vertices. Okay. That should do the thing that I wanted it to do. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's good. And we are going just to blur this because I want a really smooth fall off between the verts that is displaced and the other verts that is not displaced. So to do that is, I don't know. This is the trickiest part, because I don't know. This is a bit of an experiment. I will later see how it's gonna work, but I thought why not to just show you what is the kind of effect that we're looking for. It's really hard to make in Blender. It's really hard. Without using cycles, it's really hard. Let's say that we have like this. Okay, it will take ages just to paint these. Okay, so we've got this. It is saved to this group. Okay. So the group is called group. So you can see. Let me see if the fall off is going to be better than this. Heck yeah, it's better. So this is with the group. This is without the group. So there is a big difference. There is a big difference. Ask me or not, this is a big difference. Let's see now. Okay. Still, we need to do something for this, for the texture, the white texture. The white texture should be doing something like that. And it should be, actually, we should be using the same map, same texture right now. That's why the vector displacement lets you displace with this. Right now in Eevee, it's not going to displace anything. It will just do nothing. You can see this is without anything, so it's not displacing. Wherever you do, it's not going to displace anything. You can do displacement, okay, and use this as a height. You can use a subdivision surface and use adaptive, but you don't have adaptive right here. This is just for cycles. It's not for Eevee. Yep. So in cycles, you can do that pretty much easily. I'm going to show you. So cycles, use GPU, use 16 for the viewport, and I'm going to do a displacement, okay, and I'm going just to put a subdivision surface before that. Make sure I'm using experimental rather than supported, and let's do adaptive subdivision. Why? Using GPU and CPU both and subdivision optimal display. What is that thing? They removed it? Oh my god. Anyways, let's plug this for the height. Use this for the displacement. They removed the thing. Advanced. Keep boundaries, use grease, use custom normals. I believe. Oh yeah, here is it. What? Adaptive subdivision. When I move it before this displace, it doesn't work. Let's remove the displace itself. Let's use the color as the height. Wait, what? to displace or diffuse, sorry. Let's do a film transparent. Wait again. Why is that not working? Why it's not working? So this is Victor. This is vector displacement. Okay. What? It was working. Oh, it's working. Oh, it's working. So it's working. Yeah, it's working. I need just to play with this scale value. So you can see it's working. So you can use both of this texture in the shading. So you can make it for the colors or whatever you want. And at the same time, you can make it for the displacement, something like this. Okay, so you can see where I'm going. Okay, and when it rotates like this. Look at that. So you have displacement, and at the same time, you have that. So yeah, that's amazing. You can change from world space, object space, tangent space, wherever. You can convert this to black and white if you want to define it more. You can just leave it as is and use it. Of course, you might want to increase these levels a little bit so you have more of that. Yep. But why it's not working here with this displacement, regular displacement? I don't know. But anyways, this is an experiment. I will see why it's not working in Eevee, because right now if you just see in Eevee, it's working in... maybe it's working with the vector display. I don't know. Somehow something is not right. Something is not right within. Okay. Let me, please. Let me. Okay. Oh, but when I do emission, it's not gonna work. So we need this. So we need this, but it's going to be white. Something like that. Yep. That's crazy. You can play with this medieval, so it's not like that. So it's not really controllable, you can see. You can see it's either 0 or either is 1. Anyways, I'm going to end the stream. We did the thing that I have promised, which is making the other effect to make it look cool. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and see you soon with another project. Maybe wait for the tutorial that I'm making for the explosion, and also the Geometry Node series that we've been looking for a long time. And I will leave you with the ending screen. So, matashta.